Now this dish calls for tilapia, but you don't have to use it if you don't like it. Any mild whitefish will do just fine. You can use cod, or my favorite is halibut. It's fresh this time of year, coming from our great state of Alaska. It's important to remember to always bring your fish out of the refrigeration for at least 20 minutes before you cook it. We're going to season it up with some kosher salt and some fresh cracked pepper. Ancient Chinese proverbs say, fish gotta swim twice, once in water, then in butter and wine. Speaking of wine, today I'm using one of my favorites. It's this Fry Brothers Sonoma Reserve Chardonnay. This Focus Chardonnay features classic flavors from the cool, fog-cloaked vineyards of the Russian River Valley. Notes of ripe green apple, citrus, and pear on the rich round palate blend seamlessly with hints of tropical fruit. Creamy vanilla is the highlight of the lingering finish. Now with this recipe, I'm going to be using a non-stick pan, which is very rare for me. The only time I ever use it is when I'm cooking mild white fish and eggs, which we have to start by heating over medium-high heat for at least 1 minute. Next, I'm going to add my grapeseed oil to the pan and swirl the coat. Notice I'm using a little bit more than usual, and I'll explain that why later. And we'll add our fillets. Going away from you so you don't splash the grease up on you. Now we're only going to cook the first side for about 1 minute, and then we're going to give them a turn and get some color on our presentation side where we put the salt and pepper. And now that we've got some color on both sides, we'll flip it back over again. It's not through cooking, but that's good because we're going to go ahead and start our sauce. And here's that extra oil I talked about first. We're going to go ahead and add our green onions to that corner, right where that oil is. And we'll get it sauteed up for about maybe 30 seconds. And we're going to add some garlic. Now, you don't have to use the garlic that's chopped up. I like to use this stuff from the tube. About 1 clove's worth. And we'll get that going. Then we're going to add our Fry Brothers Chardonnay wine. Now we're going to lower the heat to medium-low and let that wine reduce to concentrate those flavors as it's steaming the fish. Boy, it smells really good. We'll reduce the wine down about 75%. The key to this sauce is the lemon juice, about a teaspoon, and very cold butter right out of the fridge. 2 or 3 pats is fine. We'll go ahead and swirl it around and get it melting as our fish is continually cooking. Very easy. At this point, we're going to add some herbs, and you're only going to use a pinch, tiny bit. This is Italian herbs that are dry. You can use whatever you like. Basil, dry, thyme, herb de Provence if you like. At this point, we're just going to take our spoon and put that sauce over the top of the fish while it continues to cook. And we'll flavor it with that delicious sauce. Really easy. It's impossible to have a dried out fillet of fish when you cook it this way. And it'll just knock your socks off. We're going to serve it on a bed of wild rice. We're going to top it with some tomato concasse, which is simply seeded and peeled tomatoes with a little salt and pepper and olive oil and some fresh basil. Refrigerate for at least 30 minutes. If you wish, a little bit of lemon rind, but not too much. Another great pairing for this dish is the Barefoot Bubbly Brut Champagne. This wine really sparkles with hints of crisp apple, complemented by a clean finish. It's perfect with fresh fruit, sharp cheeses, and seafood with a buttery cream sauce. And you can also cook with it in the recipe instead of the Chardonnay. But what if you're a beer fan? I've got 2 great selections for you. This Belgian-style wheat ale is brewed with white wheat and steel-cut oats. Blue Moon features a crisp finish and perfect combination of Valencia orange peel and a touch of coriander. The citrus flavors are going to go great with this dish to really cleanse the palate. Another great selection is this Ballast Point Sculpin IPA. After 5 years of experimenting, they know hopping an ale 5 separate stages would produce something special. The result ended up being this gold medal winning IPA, whose inspired hints of hops creates hints of apricot, peach, mango, and lemon flavor, but still packs a bit of a sting, just like the sculpin fish. Enjoy!